What's up, y'all? So, a really quick word to my perfectionists. Just finish it. Okay? And the reason why I say just finish it is because I've noticed something, okay? If you are a perfectionist, you are also a procrastinator. You might not realize that you're a procrastinator because you just be like, I'm so attentive to detail, and I like quality, and fam, you're a procrastinator. Okay. And I came to this revelation because y'all know that I've been working on this novel for quite some time, right? And I probably started this particular story going on 5 years ago. Okay. I've worked on it on and off, and for the first like 2.5 years of me working on this novel, I would write a chapter, then I would proofread that chapter immediately after. Then I would get to the next one. Something in the next one would make me realize that I needed to fix something in the one that I just wrote. So then I would stop that one and go back. And then maybe over time, I would maybe do a second, third, fourth one. And then something would happen in that fourth one. And then I'd go back to the very beginning and I'd fix all the details because now the continuity of the story is off. And so then after I've spent another 2, 3, 4 weeks redoing them first 4 chapters, then I might do 5, 6, and 7. Then again, something would happen in 7, and then finally, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was God. I don't know what clicked in my brain. I have no idea what happened, but somewhere at about the 2.5 year mark, because I kept going over and over the chapter so much, trying to fix the continuity errors within my story, that at some point it just hit me. I'm never going to finish my first draft, because at the time I was working on my first draft. I'm never going to finish my first draft if I keep going over and over and over the details and trying to fix every little piece that I've since realized. So somewhere around the 2.5 year mark, I made an executive decision. Like it was really that big of a deal. I made an executive decision that I was going to just get to the end of the book. Okay. I was like, I'm going to stop going back to fix all the stuff in the past, and I'm just going to get to the end. So I stopped trying to proofread it. I stopped going backward, and I just kept finishing a chapter. Do y'all know that it took me 2.5 years to get through writing the first half of my draft? Do y'all know that I finished the entire second half of that first draft in 6 months? Took me 2.5 years to finish the first half of the draft. Took me 6 months to finish the back half. Now, is it finished? No. Okay, because that was 2 years ago when I finished the first draft. It wasn't finished? No. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. Okay, in a lot of ways, it was terrible. Especially that back half, because the back half only had one version. The first half of my draft I had gone over it so many times that the first half was a lot better than the second half. But was it perfect? No. But at least I was able to finish it just to get to the end and then go back and start working on the second draft. And the point that I'm trying to make is, as a perfectionist, a lot of the times we justify how long it takes for us to finish things as, attention to detail, and quality and all the other stuff. And really it's procrastination. Okay. Really it's fear. Really, it's anxiety. If you got to go over the same one part 500 times, it's anxiety. Okay, and it's fear, and it's just this nagging feeling of not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I finished the entire first draft as I was writing it. Let me tell you something. I can't stand cliche writing. When I tell you the entire back half of my first draft was about as cliche as they came, and I was like, I don't care. I just need to get to the end of it because I knew that there was going to be opportunity for me to go back and fix it. And I think a lot of times with perfectionists, we spend so much time thinking we have to get it right now, like we have to get it perfect right now, that we forget there's time to go back and fix it later. Like you can always come back to this. This is not the end all be all. Now, since then, because I was about like I said, that was 2 years ago when I finished the first draft. Since then, I have been through a lot of stuff. I've studied a lot of stories. I've studied a lot of books, movies, TV shows, whatever. And then the second draft is substantially better than my first draft. But I feel like the only reason why the second draft, I'm even on the second draft, is because I finally got to a place where I was like, I'm just going to finish. And I had to have that come to Jesus moment with this second draft, because with the second draft, I was moving much faster than the first draft. But with the second draft, I would finish a chapter and then I would go back and proofread it, and it would take me forever to finish proofreading it, because I also paint and I also working on client stuff, and I'm blog and all this other crap. So I'm always doing like 100 things. And finally I was like, you know what, just finish the chapters. Okay, just finish the chapters, just get to the end of the chapter, move on to the next one, because there will be room for a third draft. So the first word is just finish it. The second word that I hadn't planned on saying but just popped into my head is you have time. Okay, you have time to go back and fix things. You have time to go back and correct things, and you are unintentionally blocking your ability to be as great as you could, trying to get all of the details right now. Because the thing about the difference between the first draft and the second draft is I needed to experience a lot of stuff. Game of Thrones, because I wasn't watching Game of Thrones when everybody else was watching Game of Thrones. Okay, I caught on late. Okay, Game of Thrones revolutionized the way I write. Okay, there's some life experiences that I've gone through between draft 1 and draft 2 that made draft 2 substantially better. There's some movies, some TV shows, and some books that I've read that have absolutely revolutionized the way that I've chosen to write. Littlefinger revolutionized the way that I saw villains. Okay, I completely changed my approach to writing villains after experiencing Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. So, you keep trying to get everything done right now. You keep trying to finish everything right now, and you're trying to perfect it right now. But the real reason why it feels like it's not good enough is 1, fear and anxiety. But 2 is because the thing that you're missing, you haven't experienced yet. The wisdom or the understanding or the tool or the key or the skill or whatever it is that's just nagging at you, and you're like, it's missing something. It's because you haven't experienced it yet. So since you can't figure out whatever it is that's messing up or that's just not quite right about this one, just move on. Just move on and come back to it when you're at a place in your life where you can come back to it. As a writer, I needed to finish the first draft, take a break so that the first draft could be fresh and I could reapproach it a better way, and then come back to the second draft having watched the things that I watched, studied the things that I studied, experienced the things that I've experienced. And so then the second draft was a lot better because I had more material, more wisdom. Me and my dad, one of the ways that we bond the most is movies and TV shows. And we will spend 2, 3, 4 hours on the phone just debating about movies and TV shows. We just go back and forth about this character. I mean, oh my God, the way me and him will go in and as much as he hates Sansa from Game of Thrones or whatever, and we debate about, is Sansa as bad as he thinks that she is? It's like this whole those kind of conversations helped me. I needed those conversations before I was even ready to get to the second draft. So when I say just finish. Because by the time you get to the end of whatever it is and complete that first draft or of whatever it is, you'll have time to go back and fix it. There's always time to go back and fix it. Trust me, Jesus ain't on his way back into time soon. You got time. The world is in a crisis, okay? It's doing a lot of weird crap right now, okay? I get that to you, but it's not getting ready to end tomorrow, okay? So just finish it. Stop changing the narrative about why you haven't finished it, okay? Because you're calling it attention to detail when really it's just fear and anxiety, and inexperience, okay? And stop blocking yourself and patronizing yourself and beating yourself up all the time, because for some of y'all, it's not so much that you're missing experience to be able to get it the way that you want it. For some of y'all just beating yourself up. I mean, you're just looking for reasons to tear yourself apart. And since you can't tear your physical self apart, you just tear up everything that you put hands on, as if it's perfectly fine. It is excellent the way that it is. And you are literally like, let me just speck. There, right there, that right there, that has completely destroyed the project, and I have to start over. Some of y'all need to cut yourself some slack. Okay, some of y'all are tearing yourself to pieces. Really, you just need to cut yourself some slack and stop tearing not only what you put hands to apart, but stop tearing yourself apart. Okay? If you need to hear somebody say it, because maybe you haven't heard it in a while, it's good enough. And you're good enough. Because a lot of times the reason why you tear your stuff apart is because you don't feel good enough. So I'm telling you, from me, hi, the Smurf, hello. You are more than enough, okay? Everything that you put hands to is more than enough. You are excellent. You are phenomenal. You are on your way. You are not behind. You are going to make it. And I need for you to rehearse that stuff like it's a mantra, okay? If you're tearing your stuff apart and you know that it's excellent and you know that it meets the requirements, stop looking for reasons to find something wrong with what you're doing. Okay? Let it go. Relax. Drink a margarita. Strawberry if it's on me. Okay? But that's all I wanted to say. Just finish it. And you got time. And for those of you who are tearing yourselves apart unnecessarily, stop, because you are more than enough. Okay? That's all I wanted to say. Y'all have a great rest of your day.